I bet you've seen these everywhere, but today you can make your own stamp charm, and I'm gonna show you how. It's super easy, couple steps. Today we're making stamp charms, and I just had a baby, and I want to make something that I can wear all the time so that people look at my neck and say, what is that C for? Oh, well, it's for Charlie, my baby. So this is super easy. If you've never stamped before, it's totally fun. You literally take a hammer and pound it, and you made a stamp. So what you're gonna need for this little stamped necklace or stamped charm is this awesome stamping kit. Comes with the hammer and the bench block and all the letters you need. You're gonna need something to open and close a jump ring, which is a flat nose plier. I like to use 2 flat nose pliers because it grips the jump ring a lot better. If you're new to making jewelry, this is way easier than using chain nose pliers. And then your cutter to cut your chain, or if you want to make it on earrings, you just need a cutter because I'm sure the length of whatever you're making, if it's a necklace, is not going to be the same as someone else. So if you want a short necklace, you're going to have to cut it if it's long. And then some jump rings and a clasp, and this little ink pen that's going to fill in your letter to make it dark so that you can see it. And then you're going to need some metal blanks and chain, or if you've got jewelry at home you just want to add this charm to, then totally do that. Okay, let's get started. So you're gonna need your bench block and your hammer and whatever metal blank you choose. I love gold, I'm a gold girl. And you're gonna put it on your bench block. Some people like to tape it down. If you're new, you can tape it down so that this doesn't move, but I really don't think you need to. And then I'm gonna use a C, and I'm gonna stick it right where in the middle of my metal blank. And then you're gonna take your hammer and you're just gonna give it a couple taps. And you've got your C. So if you have a boyfriend that you wanna put his initial on there, or someone that's passed away and you wanna remember them that way, baby, your best friend, whatever you wanna do, you can stamp it. And then from here, you're gonna take this awesome little stamp enamel marker, and you're just gonna come in here and just kind of dab it over your C. And then this metal blank comes with like a groove in it. So I'm just gonna dab because I want that to kind of stand out too. And you just wanna like really get that ink all over and you're gonna let it maybe sit for like a minute. And if it's not as dark as you want, you can reapply. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm just gonna wipe it off with a tissue. And then if you wanna make it into a necklace, you'll get some chain, and depending on how long or how short you want it, then you're gonna take this chain. And I kind of like to layer my necklaces. So I'm gonna make this one shorter so that I can layer other necklaces on with my charm. So if you don't know what size you need, I always just do this and kind of measure it this way, because some people's necks are bigger than others. And so if you kind of measure it out and then your neck's bigger, then you're gonna put it on, you're gonna be like, it's not how I wanted it. So you can look in the mirror and measure how you want. And remember, you're gonna put some jump rings on, so it'll add like ½ inch to it. So I'm gonna cut mine off right here. And you're just gonna take your cutter, cut your chain, and then I'm gonna go ahead while this is drying just to add my jump ring and clasps onto the ends. So if you have jewelry that's just sitting at home and you don't wear it anymore, take it apart and take the chain off of it. Use the chain for your charm. If you got bracelets at home, like I just had this chain laying around, well, I attached it to this little piece that I made. So you don't have to go out and buy certain things just to make jewelry. Just take your jewelry apart that you have at home and make it into something else. Add a charm. And these could be great dog tags too. If you want to put your dog's initial on there and put it on his collar. There's so many things you can do with stamping. So I'm just gonna take my jump ring and add it to my chain. And then I'm gonna take a lobster claw clasp and add that to my jump ring. And then I'm just gonna close my jump ring up. So you've got one side done. And then I'm just gonna take this side, open it up. I'm sure you guys at home have some chain just laying around that you've had an old necklace, and you can just literally use that chain if you want to. This is just, you're just adding a charm. Close this one up, and now you've made your necklace. And now we're gonna come back over to the charm and just take a tissue, and you're just gonna fold that tissue over and just gonna wipe off the extra ink. And the ink will stay in the grooved part. So, and if it's not dark enough for you, you can always go back with that enamel marker. But I think that one turned out pretty good. So now you have, I use C for Charlie. You can use whatever letter you want. And now I'm just gonna take another jump ring and open that up. Add it to my little charm. And then I'm gonna add it to my chain. And then I'm gonna close it up. And now you can, like, someone's gonna ask you, where did you get that necklace? Oh, I made it. I made it for me. And they're gonna ask you if you can make them one. But look, I mean, that looks like it came from like a little boutique. Let's review the tools and supplies we used for this project. So you're gonna need the stamping kit, which is amazing. It comes with the bench block, the hammer, and all of your letters that you're gonna need. And then you're gonna need your stamp enamel marker. This is to fill in your letter so that it stands out. You're gonna need metal blanks too to stamp your letter on. Some chain if you're deciding to make this into a necklace, some jump rings and some clasps. And then you're gonna need a flat nose plier. You're gonna need your cutter if you're gonna cut your chain to the length you want. If you want any of the supplies that I used today, check out the links below. Who is the special person in your life that you would like to stamp for? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And now that you know how to make a stamp charm, you can say, I made this.